and welcome to episode 4 of Schlegel Design Remodel's video series on the elements of bathroom design. So far, we've talked about layouts, vanities and countertops, and plumbing fixtures. And today we're talking about all things tile. So there's a lot of options that we can look at for tile, and there are so many choices to choose from. It can be overwhelming at times to narrow down that selection and make a choice. So we're gonna look at some options today of different types of tile and what you might be looking for in your bathroom. One of the ways that we start is we first talk about what type of feeling you're looking for in the bathroom. Are you wanting something that's light and airy? Are you wanting something that is a little bit darker and more moody and has more contrast? Are you looking for something that is more natural, inspired by natural materials and just kind of in those neutral tones? Or are you looking for something brighter and you're wanting kind of a happy, cheerful look in your bathroom? You might have some inspiration pictures that you've saved. We look at those and can kind of narrow down maybe certain things that you're gravitating towards that you don't realize that you're picking in different pictures, and start to pull those out and help guide you and say, oh, we noticed that you're saving a lot of subway tile or you're saving a lot of pattern tile. How can we help pull that together for you? So now we're gonna look at some tile. So usually what we start with first is maybe that main tile, the focal tile, something that's going to be used a lot in this space, and then use that as a jumping off point for the remainder of the tiles. For instance, I pulled this darker tile, and you can see it has stripes of rust and even some gray running through it, and it has this darker background. If you were thinking of using this on a shower wall, what would we pick then for a shower pan? Something that could coordinate with it. You don't want maybe the entire shower to be dark, so look for something in that rust tone to pull that out of the tile and put it into the floor. This was also another fun one that we found. It's a hexagon shape, but it has a wood texture to it. It's not wood, it's porcelain tile. But this could also be a fun shower floor that could work with this. Over here, we have a patterned tile, and this has a texture embossed into the tile itself. This could also be a pair for in that same shower. You could use it as an accent wall, and it could bring a lot of interest into that shower space. I tend to be someone who gravitates more towards blues and greens. Those are my favorite colors, but there are a lot of other colors available for putting in a bathroom. And that's one of the things that we talk about too, is where do you want to see the color in your bathroom space? If you pick something like tile for your color, that is a more permanent selection for the space, and it's going to stay longer than if you would pick paint color. And if you picked a more neutral base, such as like a marble look, or you had more of a white subway tile, you could change up your paint color and have more fun and interest. But if you know, these are the colors that I love, I'm going to want this in my bathroom for a really long time, then go for color in your tile. So I picked up some fun tiles here just to show you some of the different colors and kind of how you start to pull that together. So first, I picked this natural marble tile and was using that as my inspiration for the bathroom. So if this would be on the floor of the bathroom and you wanted to do a wainscot or a tile in the shower, we picked this kind of dusty pink color, and it pulls in really well with the natural marble. This is also a rectangular shaped tile, and you can do a lot of different pattern layouts with it as well. And that's something that we would talk about in more detail about how you want those tiles to actually be arranged. And then for the floor, something like this, you could pick in this lighter kind of creamy tone. What I would love to see with that is a hexagon tile in kind of like a creamy tone that you could do something fun with, or a larger format tile, and I think that would be a really nice look. Another accent that you can look at with tile are chair rail and pencils, and finishing edges with Schluter, or what we call jolly tile. Some tile lines actually provide their own jolly tile, which is wonderful because then you don't have to track down a tile to coordinate and match. If you look at this piece right here, this is a ceramic tile and it has an unfinished edge. And if that was on the end of your shower, how would that look? Sometimes they'll create a bullnose piece where it is finished, but sometimes that's not an option. So how would we finish that? If you're looking for a more clean or a streamlined look, use a 24 by 12 tile in your shower. It's easier to clean. You'll have less grout lines, less maintenance, and you can get a really pretty look just with something that looks like marble or slate or natural stone, or a pattern tile if that was something that you wanted. But if you're looking for adding a little bit more interest into the shower, that's when we would look at doing a pattern tile as an accent. Pattern tiles, we would look at the space because it could get overwhelming if you did it too much. So some examples of pattern tiles. So this is a ceramic tile. These could be hand painted depending on what tile brand you're looking at, or it could be something that is printed, like it's almost like a digital printer that prints on these tiles and then they seal them on it. Obviously, if you're going to pick a hand painted tile, the cost will be more than something that can be produced a lot faster. Another example of a printed tile is something that we have right here. And this one actually has an embossed texture in it. And you can see the two different colors that you have here. This would be really pretty as a backsplash or in a shower. And then another example of a pattern tile. This one doesn't have any decorative lines or details on it, but it's the actual shape of the tile that is creating that interest. And then depending on what grout color you choose, you could create a real contrast if you used a lighter grout color with this, or if you wanted it more textural, you'd pick a grout color that was more closer to this teal color. But this would be a beautiful wall in a shower. We took a little field trip over to one of our projects that's currently in production, and I wanted to show you an example of a steam shower that we just finished up all of the tiling on, and wanted to point out some of the things that we were looking at before. So in the shower, you can see that the walls are done with a large format porcelain tile. This is actually a steam shower. And in steam showers, it's recommended to not use natural stone because of the porosity, and they also will absorb more of the heat coming from the steam generator and it uses more energy. So using a porcelain tile is just more efficient, and it also will keep mildew out of the shower. But I wanted to show you some of the installation techniques. So in here we have a bench seat, and one of the things that Donna likes to do is, instead of having a complete 90-degree angle, she actually slightly angles it back so that it's a little bit more comfortable for your feet when you're sitting down and getting up. Here you can see at the edge, they chose to do a Schluter edge finish, and this has a rounded profile so that it's comfortable and it's not sharp. Another material that you could use on a bench seat is also quartz, to have a quartz top. This way you don't have any grout lines in the top of the seat, and you can have one piece seamless all the way across from the edge. The quartz also will get finished with a bullnose edge on it, and that would also be more comfortable to sit at as well. So they had that option, but they chose to do more of a seamless look and just have the tile throughout this whole space. Here we have a niche. You can see that they chose to also use that same decorative Schluter, but instead of a rounded profile, this is a flat profile. The floor of the shower and the back of the shampoo niche are the same, and it's a darker color to contrast the main wall tile. But they're picking up on those greens that you see in the main wall tile of what they picked for the coordinating tiles. So on the outside of the door jamb to the shower, they've chose to wrap the tile coming out to create kind of like a casing in a way for the entrance to the shower. So this tile is actually a bullnose tile, and this is a porcelain. So this is a tile piece that came from the manufacturer already like this. But the back part of this tile was not bullnosed. So to finish it, they chose to use that coordinating piece of Schluter as an accent, and that carries and frames all the way around the opening of the shower. Something that they could have chosen if you don't want to have the Schluter piece, and maybe you don't have the bullnose pieces for your shower, you could choose a coordinating quartz material to make the threshold and the jambs of the shower out of, and that also provides a nice finished look to the space. Now that we've talked about all of the different materials that you can put in your bathroom, in our next episode, we're going to be talking about lighting.